Hey everybody, welcome back. We it's a Thursday evening here in Central Florida. All is well. I can't say I've got anything bad going on around here. All couldn't be better. But welcome to the show. I always enjoy seeing people hanging out in the chat a little bit ahead of time. Tina Hager, nice to see you as always. Number one Marvel fan. He's almost always number one in the chat too. Other than Marcus when he pops in and drops something special, usually a day or two before the show even starts. But I saw Robert Berman in here as well, and boy, we got a lot of people hanging out early today. Good to see everybody. Yeah, and that's a good reminder, Mr. Redjack. Those of you who don't hit that thumbs up, please remember to hit the thumbs up here at the channel. It always helps us with the algorithm, as at least as I've been told. I don't know if that's true or not, but the thumbs up after a show are always good. And leave comments every once in a while too. I do try to comment and reply to those comments when they come in, although it's usually a once a week task that I do around here. Gabe Carino, I sent some artwork out to you the other day. But yeah, after that George Genty show last week, we had a few sales happen after the sale that we did on Saturday. So I had a lot of art to ship out on Tuesday. So hopefully everybody's gotten their packages already, or they'll be getting them in soon. Or a dirty limerick, Mr. Reject. That Marcus is he's prone to writing limericks every now and again. I have too, not intentionally though. They tend to just happen. But number one Marvel fan, no Alberto. He did. What did Alberto do tonight? I don't even know what he's doing. Okay, how come my picks are always from the same people? Marcus says. I don't know. Maybe I have a propensity to like artwork that the similar people collect. I don't look at the people who collect, pick it, or who post the artwork. You know how that goes. I know people like to wish, I can't say like, but they would prefer we find ways to diversify the picks every week. We do try. It's just that it's because it's not a focus. It's really hard to like say that you want to avoid picking James Siegel again every time he posts a great cover every week, or you name it, or another great Galactus from Mikhail, or gosh, Steve Lawrence dropping another gigantic cover that I love and wish I owned myself. It's kind of hard. You just see the art and you say, I got to pick that one, and you go with it. Finding obscure stuff, that would be like a show unto itself, and then we would probably need at least 4 or 5 people to do that, because you know how it goes. There's like 1,800 to 2,000 pieces of art getting posted to CAF every week. Well, man, I'm running off at the mouth to getting this thing started. I need yeah, that's what I've heard, Marcus. I have heard that. um but hey, so outside of all of that, to get things started, I am glad that everybody's here. We have no show tomorrow, but I will have a fun show on Saturday with Mr. Matt DeTulio. He's that guy from DeTulio Art Collective, and I don't know what the final count is, but I think we'll have over 65 pieces of art to show for sale Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. Oh boy, you guys. Anyway, and gals in the chat. So yeah, we don't have it's going to be a light show tonight. I will tell everybody that. I had Bob Layton scheduled to come on here. I think I still had the WTF on the show graphic. I meant to change that, which I will do after the show. Bob's still under the weather, unfortunately. So if you're of that mindset, send some positive vibes to South Korea for Bob, because he's not gotten over that cold that he had, that he apparently picked up from OAX, or maybe when he was here in Florida. He was here, I think, a week and a half after the show. So he's still on the mend. But so we're just going to shelve that WTF video for one more week, and hopefully Bob will be able to rejoin us next week. I know, not Concred. I really didn't hear of anybody getting sick after OAX, which was nice. I think even the year before we had, a few people get sick, but yeah, Tyler, we always blame Tyler for that. And then Dan Tancredi had to immortalize him with that photograph of him, and we all know that he was he was full of more than Concred. So what is that? Tomorrow you're going to start a big BARDA commission. All right, Mitographia. So anyway, all right. So what am I going to start with? One of the things I had actually hoped to do too was to talk a little bit about the indie show that's a little less than gosh, I mean, it's a little more than 4 weeks away. So we don't have a lot of time. So if you're in the Northeast area in Connecticut, New Haven, I'm going to post a link in the chat to remind everybody about this. This is a show that is produced by us here at Comic Art Fans right now. Of course, Matt Sardo created it. He is now our director of digital marketing and engagement in many levels for us socially. So it's always good to have more people on the team. But for those of you who are not familiar with the Indie Comics Creator Con, it is the Saturday. It's a one-day show, March 15th. And they've been posting a lot of really great videos over on their YouTube channel, which I would encourage many people to subscribe to that as well. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. Here you go. So I think every week they've been dropping an interview with a different indie comics creator that is going to be attending. So I would encourage you, if even if you're not going to the show in 4 weeks, you should definitely subscribe to their channel, because definitely, yeah, they do a good job doing the interviews and everything, and I'm sure they're going to be doing more of that in between shows. So after their show in March, I would expect to see some regular content, just like we do here on this channel, regularly up until they have the show again in 2026. Uh, Tyler T. His claim to fame is that he was the first ever OAX super spreader. I guarantee you, Tyler, you will not be the last, but you were the first. Oh, yes, you were. But yeah, back to the indie show. I do. I was hoping to kind of figure out if I could make it there. I don't think it's in the cards for me, but I imagine. Well, I know for a fact that there will be people from the team at the show as well, talking to the creators and the attendees. And I think last year they had about 500 attendees through the door, and I imagine they'll have a little bit more than that this year. So it's a decent sized show for a second year show. I think they're going to do really well. Bill Leach, hey, good to see you here too. You'll go and take photos, Stingray. If you go, please do. We can use all the photos and documentation for the shows that we're a part of as we can. It's always good to, I have to tell you guys, the more I watch the videos that are being posted by the card art guys and Comics Den and a few other groups out there from OAX. OAX was a pretty good show. There's a lot of good stuff that happens during that thing. I don't get to see a whole lot of it, but it's fun watching the interactions with everybody. I mean, it really it warms my heart to see how happy everybody was on the show floor. And it's the last couple of videos too. I don't know what time of day they were shot. Maybe it would be cool to kind of know that, but they all looked busier than I remember it. You always see people in the hall or in the hallways in between the aisles and everything like that, and you get a perspective on how busy you think it is. But the last couple of videos I saw, I was just surprised. I mean, I think probably because I wasn't in the hall in the first hour or two most on Saturday and Sunday. George Hodge is tabling at IC3. Do you guys like the acronyms we got going on here? It's easy, we want to keep it very easy for everybody to remember, the shows we've got going on here. Number one Marvel fan. So yeah, we know it was very busy. But anyway, so there you go. Hopefully next week. I invited Matt Sardo to join me tonight. He wasn't able to. It was kind of a short notice thing when Bob Layton canceled. But I can guarantee you that I would think that we'll have a component of the show for the next 4 weeks that will at least have somebody from IC3 popping on, even if it's whether it's Matt or maybe we can get an artist to come on here just talk a little bit about what they might be doing at the show. And yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed, but I think we will. Okay, so there's so much. Jerry Bourne, yeah, I hear you, man. Lots of stones unturned. That's the one thing, that kind of the theme that I've been reading and hearing about after OAX is that 2 days, 7-hour days isn't really enough time to see everything. I mean, it's funny. I never got the chance to even stop by and speak to Humberto Ramos when he was at the show. I saw Joseph Damon a few times and maybe talked to him. I think I gave him both their badges, but I never engaged in any way with Mr. Ramos, which is silly. But the thing is, I got to see some videos, I got to see some sketches that he did, so it's good to know that everybody stayed busy throughout it. But yeah, we need to do more about more of that next year. Not at all. Oh, Jason saw nothing. Yeah, that's probably because you were out by the fire pit all the time, Jason. And I get it, Jerry. No, it's not about complaining. It's it just means that the show's doing really well, right? And that it's fulfilling the need. I think that's what it kind of comes down to. That a lot of people talk about the socializing side of things. A couple people even mentioned that they really didn't come back with any new art, and that's okay. But they had a great time because they really weren't going there to buy art, which is weird going to an art show, but it is the opportunity to hang out with friends. Uh, so yeah, so there's that. But beyond that, it's what do I got to show you here? I don't have any packages to open. I did get one. I got a package this week, and it um was the filler of the best of trophies. As everybody remembers, we had my uncle printed these 3D models out that Gwen made. It says calf there on the back and the veins on there. Yes, the very veiny hand of the Hulk. But as you can see from this thing, that literally the hammer is too small for the size of this hand, right? So we weren't really clear on how it was going to print. So when we saw that, and of course my uncle, I don't know why, but he glued the hammers into the hand, which we didn't want. We wanted the hands to be able to actually, the hammer to come out. So we had him do a new one, which clearly it's like one finger smaller, but that looks more realistic, right? If that were the Hulk's hand, that would be the size of Thor's hammer, and it does come out. So these just came in the mail yesterday. So everybody who is due a best of trophy, I've got some packing to do and addresses to collect, but I should be sending out those those trophies by early next week, I would imagine. I'm gonna order some special boxes from Amazon that are smaller so I can pack them up and ship them out. Yeah. Jason wants one of the rejects. Well, that would be one of these ones too. And apparently, I don't know, my uncle, he just printed up a bunch of stuff. He had problems with some of them. So if you really want a reject there, Jason, what do we got here? I know that there was some rejected ones. Something about the way Gwen made her models. My uncle said that they didn't always print right. So sometimes they have these weird looking artifacts on them. So it doesn't look like a hand or a fist at all. And that's weird. That's the thing hand printed green. Now that's a one of a kind right there. It's not quite like collecting original art, but if you want a green thing hand that got misprinted, I got one. I got one for you. And yeah, at any rate, I've got about 30 of these floating around. So, and then I have at least 20 the larger ones. So we will come up with a way. I'll have a giveaway. I'm not doing it this week. I got too many things going on, but I did think about that. I need to come up with a giveaway for the bad printed trophies, and then also come up with a way for those of you who weren't able to go to OAX to get your own swag bags. Those will work out, some cheap figure. But remember, I have a bunch of T-shirts left over from the show, and almost every size but medium. I've got a lot of larges, XLs, double XLs, and I think I might even have one or two triple XLs. Oh, that's true. I can tell you that too. Is that I did get the T-shirts printed for the Bub Crawl, the ones that because we figured no more than 35 people were going to go, and we had about 50 on that. So thank Rob for all the PR he did. Or all he's got to say is first round's on me, and he got 50 people to go to the first bar. So we've got at least I think I forget what the order was. I think we printed about another 24. So I think Rob's daughter is going to be picking those up from the print shop and getting them over to him. So those of you who gave Rob your shirt size and mailing address, I would say expect them in the mail in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever, however long it takes him to pick them up and get them in the mail. Rom says he needs a Bub Crawl shirt. I remember I think Tina said she needed one too. So I get it. Um, Oh, Stingray needs to buy one. Well, that's okay. Well, like I said, I'll tell you, I promise everybody next week I will have a way to do that. So you can pick the shirt size that you want to get. And again, it'll probably just be covering shipping, and I'll include a swag bag, and you'll be able to pick the shirt size, all that kind of stuff, and $25, $30, something like that. That'll include every piece of swag that we had and a shirt. So next week, look for that. What was that, Rom? I know, Rom, exactly. The first bar that we went to was Hooters, and they did have pretty slow service there. I would agree with you, but they only had like two girls for 50 people. It's just it was a bad. It was not a setup that was going to offer us the best service that we would have hoped for. Number one Marvel fan, Tom. He had a good time doing it, though. I always like to hear that. He got carded. That is not true, Tom. There's no way you got carded. Um, all right. What? See, I'm telling you, we're not going to have a long show today because I just don't have a ton going on, which is a good thing. We have been busy though. I can tell you that we've been working through. I basically have three projects that I'm working on right now. Two of which I really can't talk about, but one of course is V2 of the app. That one, I'm getting a new version tomorrow with push notifications working when comments are posted to my art. If anybody's been seeing that smiling thumbs up sketch of me on CAF showing up as one of the most commented pieces, that's because the developer keeps using that image to work on as far as posting comments and testing things out. And yeah, so it's not anybody special commenting on that likeness that Mr. Amore drew for me. It is the app developer testing push notifications on my account. So that's what's going on there. I'm not trying to boost my profile and reputation over on CAF in any way, but yeah, I've seen the version I got last week. I was push notifications were actually working fine on the Android, but they weren't quite the way we wanted them on iOS. So the version I get tomorrow is supposed to work with iOS like it was working for Android. So we get that done. We've only got a few other major components to what V2 is, and I don't want to promise a release date for all that, but I certainly believe it would be out by like April. Well, if I say April 1st, you won't believe me. So how about I say April 2nd? That would be better. So that's about what we'll target probably for that. But yeah, other things that are going on are kind of related to things that'll eventually get push notified. I guess we've been working on just some stuff, kind of bolstering the keyword alerts that have been going out. I can't talk too much about that at length right now, but we're definitely looking at larger inventories that we're able to look at. And Maureen was literally in this office all day today while we worked through that project, and made a lot of progress today. We're going to be back at it tomorrow, doing another 5 or 6 hours, on that project, and probably at some point in time we'll be able to talk more about what we're doing there. And then yeah, the other project is just, it's still getting ironed out, but I hope to have a draft of the design document for Maureen and the team to look at by sometime like this time next week. But it's something we've been talking about for a while, but it's been on the back burner. At any rate, it's fun to work. Maureen she prefers to work in the house. But today, after we had a meeting in the morning just to go over what the tasks were that I needed her to get done, just from it's a project that even involves my son, that there were things that I needed her to be sitting by my side throughout all of that. And she was a trooper. She didn't complain at all. But we were able to get a lot of work done, which was nice. Did I hide all the skull artwork? Mr. Red Jack asked. No, I didn't. I did not. I left a few pieces out here that I have laying around, but it's now under galleries on the tab. Yes, it is, Robert. I think last week I mentioned I might have gotten that done right at the end of the show, but yeah, I can put a link in there for those of you who didn't get to see the best of awards that we did. What was that, on the 4th? Let me copy the link. I can put that in the chat for everybody. For those of you who didn't see who won different categories, that is all now posted with their vote counts. I believe we have all that information shown out there for your edification. I think the app name can be stolen. What does that mean, Marcus? I have no idea. Oh, can it be copyrighted? I don't know. Can it be copyrighted? Well, how can you copyright stuff? Well, I guess there's certain things that I know. You're right. I mean, there's certain aspects to programming and app development and all that sort of things. Like one app can swipe left to do one thing, and the other one has to tap twice and swipe left because they patent certain things. So I think that's more what you're talking about. But I mean, come on. Maybe Instagram will come after us since we're we're basically another image-based app. Anyway, So moving right along. So see, I got all my stuff. The only thing I can tell you, I've got this is going to be a big weekend here at CAF HQ, but not because of CAF. This weekend, we've been talking about this for 3 years here at the house, but finally on Sunday, we are actually going to pick up some chickens. We're gonna raise chicks. We've been wanting to do it for this whole time that we've been down here in Florida for 3 years, and I'm taking the plunge. So wish me well. The girls are on board. So that probably means that I'll only be doing 95% of the work to raise them. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But Sunday, so yeah, I might have some stories for everybody by this time next Thursday. But yes, that's the plan. Coyote chow. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I figure when they're chicks, they can be inside the garage, so we can keep them in there for about 4 weeks. But I have to figure out a pen, and that's the one thing I haven't given any thought to. You guys, I've been watching those videos on those reels on Facebook too, Corey. I saw those lizards eating I forget what it was, like a water bison or something like that. I don't know, water buffalo. I don't know what the heck it was. At any rate, uh gotta beat those egg prices. With the way things are trending, yes, I think that maybe that'll be a surprise bonus to having chickens. But yeah. Hey, Nick Baruchi. There's a stranger we haven't seen in about what, at least 4 to 6 weeks. Boy, I know Nick's got a Nick. Well, we'll play Nick's video a little bit later. Not much later though, at this rate. And I know he's got. He doesn't have specifically art for sale for the channel. I know that Daryl R, our good collecting friend in Las Vegas, who he lost a friend, a co-worker, and I think the last name was Roscoe, if I recall correctly. And you're having some charity, I believe, auctions for some artwork and other items tomorrow on the EXP channel. And I know that Nick will go over that when we show the video, but Nick's here, so I figured I'd mention that to everybody. I know it's several people. I think Tom McDonald, Jeff Wedding helped out in terms of pulling that all together. And then, of course, Nick doing it on his channel is always a good thing. Daryl's a good friend of the channel. He has one of the better Batman related collections of art on CAF, and he got recognition right throughout the best ofs as well, right? I think he had 3 pieces in the top 5. No, Marcus, I never even thought about that. There could be some memes in there. I forgot about that chicken costume we have here. No, Corey, I actually have a chicken costume. When Ashton was in high school marching band, he was the quad player, and for some reason, I forget why. Maybe they all dressed up as chickens one year, the quad players. But we have a chicken costume. I've used it for a few memes back in the day when we actually made memes for the dueling dealers. Back when I had fun. And was able to add some levity on Wednesday nights versus the long drawn out shows we sometimes do around here these days. But I'm not putting the mask on, Jason. At any rate, yeah, I've got a chicken costume. I got a shark costume too. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see that. I am not a furry. I do not have any special zipper holes in any of the costumes that I have. I've got 2 Cyclops costumes too. We literally bought them right around the end of the time where we had time to shoot memes, and I think I only did one show where I wore the Cyclops costume and did some memes. It was a Christmas show. Remember, I was like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Cyclops, leading the way for Santa's sleigh. See, nobody's gonna remember that one. We only showed him once. Oh man, gosh, I am a brony. I do have a lot of pony artwork, but it's all my kids. I bought it all for the girls. You guys, no. Did you pick my? No, I didn't. I didn't do any of that, Jason. But I do have to mail you those emergency exit signs. They are sitting right over there. I'm looking right at them. You look at me every day. I got to get them out of here. So I should put them all in the mail. Well, I'll keep one, and we'll mail you the rest, and you can give them out as gifts to your friends. All right? I think that's a wise thing to do. Um, gosh, what else I got for you? Let me see. I actually made some slides here. Where is that? All right. Well, two things. Well, now let's look at the schedule first. Let's talk about that. I've actually upgraded the schedule graphic because, it was really boring the way it looked before. So I thought putting a little background graphic on there might actually spice it up, and it does look good now. So the schedule of events here on the channel and around town is, as I've already mentioned, I got the Tulio on the show with me on Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. He's bringing 65 pieces of art. I believe I've already got to preview them. There's a couple pieces that if they don't sell, I'll probably pick up, and fair pricing too. A lot of the pieces are under $1,000, and then I'd say probably 85% are under $2,000, probably even more than that. But all top shelf stuff, as you've come to expect from Matt. He has a taste for commission style pieces, published covers, that sort of thing. There's your usual smattering of Bianchi and DeMio pieces, but by and large, these are just a wide range of cool artwork. So for those of you who like that sort of thing, and I think it's probably most of you in the chat, you should join us Saturday at 2 o'clock. I mean, what else is going on Saturday, right? No sporting events, nothing like that. So you have no reason not to hang out with us. Then I've got Tom Coker on Tuesday for an interview. He and I talked about it before we ever knew there was this big deal that happened at OAX. I think everybody's heard enough about it. I probably will not. Well, I don't think Tom will probably let me not talk about it, but we'll see. That's not the focus of the show. We had just the idea of talking about his amazing collection on. Then I've got a standalone show with Mike on Wednesday. We haven't seen Mike since OAX, so that'll be fun. He's been holding back artwork from his website to do an art drop with me, so that'll be good. We got Howard Chaykin on the 22nd. That's a 2 p.m. show. We already looked at his artwork the last show, and it's all fantastic. I still don't have the prices on it though. Those were those amazing ink wash pieces. I do have a feeling my suggestion for Howard is that we will set a fair base price and probably set the pieces, at least some of them for auction, because I mean they're just fantastic. And I look at them and say they should be this, but I don't want to ask that. I think we need to start at a fair price that everyone can afford, and then let the market decide where they go by having them at auction. Um, Let's see what else we got there. Jiggy's crew is going to be with me that evening as well. So we got two shows on Saturday. I forget what it is. It's was it Nemesis? I can't remember what it was. It's a heroes and villains, and they're something along those lines. It should be. I'm sure it's going to be good. I haven't seen a single piece of art from it yet, but you know them. They will deliver. I got Brian Eon for an interview. A regular Dueling Dealers after that. Jeffrey Moy comes back in March. I've got Comic Connect and Hakes for previews in March. We have, of course, I had a list. The IC3 show on the 13th, the 13th. I see a 3 and I say 13. It's the 15th in New Haven, Connecticut. So, and again, you can see the URL there, indiecomicscreatorcon.com. But you got that, and then I have collector Ali Morad, and Ali's been on other people's shows before. He's basically done some like calf cribs videos and walkthroughs of his collection, and I know what he looks like. I've seen him, and I know he was at the show. I think I might have said hi to him at OAX, but did not get to talk to him at all. But yeah, other than that, and then Ryan Sook. Actually, that's there. I can show you some stuff here. Ryan Sook. We don't have a date yet. It's going to be in March or April. However, I did get an email from Ryan a couple days ago. It'll all be to benefit the Hero Initiative, everything that he's got that will sell. And he's doing sketch cards and the Hero Initiative drink coasters. So he actually sent me a scan. I guess he threw all the sketch cards that he was working on onto a scanner bed and sent me this. So these are, I don't know if he's going to do any more, if they're going to just stay pencil, or if you might add some ink to them. I don't know. Either way, I think they're fine as is. They're on the Hero Initiative sketch cards, and we got 10 here. I'm pretty sure that's the limit of the sketch cards. And I think his note to me mentioned that he was going to try to work on between 6 and 8 the coasters, which he usually would probably be doing in ink to, I mean, they just absorb it better, right? I think it, but we'll see. Either way, these are from Ryan. Last time we had him on was for a Hero Initiative benefit show. We, you know, where we did a little interview with him, and then all the pieces got auctioned off. We usually, you know, start things at like each card might start at $75 or something like that, or $50, and we'll let you guys decide what the final price should be on those. But I love Ryan's work. One of these days, you know, we'll be able to have him on for a bit of a longer show. I've had him on a panel once about 3.5 years ago for Comic Art Live. But yeah, it'll be good. Bill Leach, you have a Cyclops costume too. Oh boy, I figured I was the only one. But yeah, but I don't have a definitive date for Ryan yet, and I think until we get the coasters finished and shipped to me, then we can worry about when we'll have that show. But the likelihood is it'll be before the next Comic Art Live, which I should bring that back up so everybody can see. Next Comic Art Live, May 17th and 18th. That's going to be a fun one. It's, what are we at? We're just over 3 months away. It's hard to imagine that it's been 3 months already since the last Comic Art Live. So we got some work to do before that next show. But I can tell you that I know we'll have Hall I back. I know that some of the indie creators that are setting up at IC3 have invites to also set up for the show. So expect some new blood and new artists and artworks in that Comic Art Live. And I think given the success of our show in November, I would have to believe that we will probably set new records in number of exhibitors, which, you know, easily will be over 350. And as far as artworks available, I'd like to think we'll be well over 7,000 pieces of art for that show. And yeah, just that'll be our 11th Comic Art Live event. Looking forward to doing that. Oh man, where are we at? Let me close that for now. And then we have the November show. But yeah, here we are. I think I'm almost out of like to-do list, task list stuff here with you guys. What are you guys talking about? Looking at guns and gear and UTVs, a bunch of raffles to win stuff. I don't know what you're talking about, Corey. But anyway, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I hope that everybody's picking up some comic art for their significant others. If that's not on your plan, you should probably yeah, make it so. I haven't I actually got nothing planned. You know, what do I have here? My son is actually in Puerto Rico right now. He went there for a what was he going to do? A Pokemon tournament, and apparently they switched locations on him, and he didn't have enough money to get to the other side of the island where they moved it to, and that was the end of it. Was I sent an I actually was I sent an OAX video today? I see Stingray mentioning that. I don't think I don't have any OAX video to play today. You know, we kind of have I don't know, we have our own little rollout schedule for those sorts of things, but we do have videos that I'm sure we will be playing. We've been waiting for a couple from some of the videographers that were there that we're going to kind of debut a few things. But yeah, Corey, you would be mad too. Yes, that's what happened. So basically a week before Ashton flew out there, and he was flying out there with his girlfriend, they changed the location from one side of the island to the other, and he already had a hotel booked on like the south side of the island. They moved it to the north side, and I guess whatever the transportation services were between the north and south side of the island, whatever, he couldn't do it. So he decided to make it a vacation. So he and his girlfriend Lorna, that some of you may have met at OAX, they're in Puerto Rico. He'll be back here on Sunday. But and Gwen's going to Miami tomorrow morning to play DDR. I mean, how come my kids are having all the fun? She's going down literally because apparently in all of Florida there is only one DDR machine that has something, you know, uber special. I don't know what, but her and her DDR pal that they go do like once or twice a week in Orlando, they're literally driving all the way to Miami for this special event. Ah. God loves comics. Pokemon tourney and still got a girlfriend. Girls play Pokemon too. God loves comics. Believe it or not, I don't think his girlfriend does, but she accepts him as he is. He's only 26. He's still playing. He's got a what's DDR? Jason, you might benefit from a little DDR, Jason. You know, it's kind of you know, it's the thing with the lights on the ground, and you have to like stop your feet when the stuff is scrolling by, you know, the up arrow, right, left, down, that kind of thing. Yeah, Dance Dance Revolution. Thank you, Rob. Uh, so, yeah, that's it. What am I going to say, man? What, you know, Adam knows what I'm talking about. He's probably played a little DDR in his time. We actually have the kids. I'm not including myself in that because I can't do it, but the kids have their own DDR pair of whatever pads in the main room with a big screen TV on it. Hey, Josh Flanders. Yes, the game. Got it. All right. It's like Twister with a big floor or a small floor, actually. Anyway, you know, I'm just going to switch this thing over to a page I love with Jeff Johnson. Yeah, we always have a running total of at least 4 of these out there. And Kevin Sharp, he just keeps cranking them out. I appreciate Kevin for doing these. It's always interesting. This is like a page from a comic book that I even read, that I even owned, and I don't own it anymore. It is a DC book. But I mean, I would have to imagine everybody's familiar with the page. You know, it's one of those. It's like it's an obvious one for a lot of. I'm sure a lot of artists, maybe of that era when they were growing up, probably read this book and thought it was the funniest thing ever. So we'll go ahead. Let's take a look at this. And again, thank you to Kevin. Kevin's he puts the time in to record these things, and I appreciate it. And if anybody else ever wants to do something like that too, I would take that. And always remember, we could always use a weekly flip. I'm going to be doing a weekly flip, I believe, for next week. And the reason I'm doing that is I finally feel like I'm going to be so caught up that I might be able to scan or rescan all that X-Men art that I accidentally deleted from my CAF gallery. But before I do, I wanted to do a weekly flip with the artwork. And then after I play the flip, then I will go ahead and post the artwork back to my CAF gallery. So I'm planning on filming that probably on Sunday, right when we're going to be picking up the chickens, probably. But look forward to that, a weekly flip from me. And so that should maybe encourage some of you to do weekly flips too. Just remember that. But all right, let's get this page I love on camera here right now. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of A Page I Love. This is Kevin Sharp. Today, I am joined by artist Jeff Johnson, who has a new series called Rogue's Kingdom, which we will get to a little later in the segment. Jeff, welcome to Comic Art Live, and thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure, Kevin. Good to see you.
We're doing one of the iconic, I would say, series, artists, and individual pages of the 80s. Mm-hmm. Will you please tell the audience what we're going to be talking about today?
So we're going to be talking about one of my favorite artists and then one of my favorite pages that artist ever drew. It's from Kevin Maguire's run on the Justice League, and it is the page where Guy Gardner gets punched in the mouth or punched in the nose and gets knocked out. The famous one punch sequence. It's one of my all-time favorite pages out of one of my all-time favorite runs. It's just a great book.
So let's start at the beginning, and please tell the audience, where would you have been, career-wise, ambition-wise, art-wise, when you found this issue? Would this have been live off the stands or something you found as a back issue?
I see. So what year was that? Was that 85?
87.
So I had graduated from high school, and I'd always wanted to draw comics. And I was definitely in the Al Williamson old school, John Buscema camp. That was definitely my groove. That was my training early on. That's all the guys that group of guys was the sort of my artistic vision. And then I graduated high school, and I was still practicing and learning my craft, sending in submissions, and doing all that stuff. And then Justice League started coming out with Kevin and Keith, and it was honestly, it was a revelation to me, because as great as Al Williamson and John Buscema and those guys are at drawing everything, their actors are always a little bit serious, right? Their range of emotion is, I don't know if I would describe it as limited, but it was never, Conan doesn't, he never laughs a lot. He guffaws, right? When I saw Kevin's work, I realized that these characters could be more than just icons. They could be more than just representation of an idea. They could be actual people. And it opened up a whole world of storytelling for me. And so I've been studying Kevin since the first time I saw his work on that first cover of Justice League. And it has inspired me to make all of my characters as individual as possible and as human as possible and have as much range as possible. So Kevin is one of my guiding stars in comic book in comic book art. So it changed my trajectory quite a bit.
Well, as we're speaking now, the viewers will see the page on the screen. So let's just dive in. I mean, this is just 80s gold, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Walk us through this. What works for you off this page? What do you see in the storytelling, the panels?
Well, so first off, it's only a 4-panel page, but there's a lot going on, and it's very much there's not a ton of action. There's the one punch, and so that's the only action on the page. But so you have a good close up of guy getting popped. I love the way Kevin does the blurring of the fist, right? So it just, at 1 second, Guy Gardner's in your face, and then there's just a blur of motion, and he gets tagged in the nose, and it's just the expression on his face is amazing. But then also just how far his face moves back, but you can see a little trail of blood coming out of his nose. You definitely get to feel that he got rocked. And then it's just he's out on the ground, right? And so a low angle using the panel border as the horizon line is something that I always love, but I can never really pull it off. John Byrne used to do it a lot, where the horizon line is the bottom of the panel. And I love that. And it shows all the characters, and Batman's in the foreground. And then the comic reactions to all the characters tell you who each and one of those characters is in a really quick and deep level. My favorite is the body language of Gardner's feet just touching. It's just a great little composition trick that really leads the eye over to Batman and off the page. Then it's a really great top down that shows you where everybody's at, guys on the floor, because what's important right there is a Batman is leaving and he's crossing away, and it's just a really great graphic, almost like a palette cleanser. Like we were real up close and we were really in the faces of these characters, and now we pull back and we show where everyone's at and that the conflict is over, and then we get back in for the aftermath of everyone's reactions to now what it means for them that Guy Gardner got knocked out. And then one of the things I love about it is that it's not flashy, right? Like what's really great about all of Kevin's storytelling is he let the characters just be in the event, right? Like the event itself he never did anything super tricky. It's almost like you are standing in the room also. And I've always found that is a real subtle way to pull you into the storytelling and make you experience the story in a very personal way.
What strikes me is just the face acting,
in
addition to everything else that you cited.
Yeah. where Blue Beetle is like wiping the tear away. Yeah, it's so good. And then I love that expression on the Martian Manhunter, where it's like he gets it. You can see he doesn't really approve, but he kind of is happy about it, right? Like there's a lot going on in that expression.
Do you own any Kevin Maguire original art?
I do. I actually own a couple of pieces of his. I have one of his Legion of Superheroes covers, what he did back in the day. I also have a Speedball character sheet that he did. And then I have a Captain America page that was inked by Terry Austin that's stunning. But my favorite Kevin piece is one he did in my sketchbook. He is also a fan of martial arts films the way I am. And he's a huge Jackie Chan fan. And so he drew a Jackie Chan in my sketchbook, and it's perfect Jackie Chan.
For a second, when I thought you were teeing us up when you started to say, but my favorite one that I own, I thought you were going to say, is this very page?
Oh, honestly, that would be fantastic. But no, I can't afford anything like this.
Why don't we transition over to Rogue's Kingdom? Please tell the viewers a little about the book. You're working with writer James Robinson.
The book is called Rogue's Kingdom, and it is a fantasy swords and sorcery original epic created by James and I. We've been working on it for literally almost a decade. The trouble is I can't let a page go. So I have put so much into everything that I draw that it's taking forever. The first issue, we kickstarted it last year, and we just were able to get it printed up and delivered just recently. So everybody now has their issue 1s. And we are going to be launching issue 2. The campaign starts, and we're going to pre-launch in February, and then we're going to actually launch the campaign in March. So everyone will be able to get issue 2 from the Kickstarter, and we'll have more of issue 1 available so everyone can kind of catch up. It's a swords and sorcery fantasy. We pitched as like Game of Thrones, but for kids. It's got dragons, and it's got centaurs, and it's got everything. Basically, when we started coming up with the book, we both wanted to do a fantasy story, and I had the bright idea of setting it in sort of 17th century Paris and France, because I wanted to do the Three Musketeers with magic, and that was a huge mistake because drawing a castle is easier than drawing a palace, and that's and everything in my world is so ornate and so detail heavy, and I've done so much research and tried to create this really interesting world for people to come live in with us for a little while. But James has written an incredible story, and he's done this really amazing thing where there's the comic, and then we also have short text stories that he has in the back of every issue that expand the world. And he did this really, really great thing. We were going to do a letters column, and he decided that the letters column is going to be the newspaper from the town. So you can read the newspaper of events happening in the town while the story is taking place to really flesh out the world building.
Jeff, thank you again for your time and for joining us. Super fun to look at this page again.
All right, thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Sharp. Kevin doesn't usually join us in the chat, does he? He's a busy guy, I think. But speaking of busy guys, he's shaking his head now. He's in the green room, ready and raring to go. Where's his music? I don't have it. Oh, no, I do have this. I've got it actually labeled Snorek Rocky. Here's his intro right here. Here he is, Chris Snorek. Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good. You?
You look like you're at Fred Hembeck's house.
Do I?
Kinda. He's kind of got the same position in his kitchen every time I do an interview with him.
I'm at my house. I'm the puppy and I are bachelors tonight. So, and he didn't want to be left alone. So I'm up in the kitchen. He's not allowed in the basement because Lord knows what he would do down there.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
You got a lot of fragile things.
Yeah.
How big's
Here?
these days? I remember seeing the pictures when you first got the puppy.
He's right here. He's clinging to my feet.
Oh, he is small. Oh, look at that.
There's Early. Say hi.
Oh man. Well, so your bachelor party tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm having an old fashioned. I had chili for dinner. I'm living the life.
Go hand in hand. I was thinking of doing an old fashioned. I've got all that bourbon around here. I've got a. Well, we'll see. I'm not totally. Maureen and Gwen are out today, but I'm stuck with Emma. I don't know. I'll teach her how to make. She's 20 years old now. She's just start learning how to mix a drink every once in a while, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Help out.
Exactly. So, anything new in your life? Any new artwork you've added to your collection?
As a matter of fact.
Oh, here, let's go full screen. You can see this. Oh, wow. Travis.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Little sketch cover action. He's got a stogie and a beer.
Wow. How'd you pick that one up?
Guess.
Okay. Yeah, I can guess. All right.
When I got the photo, it had carpet in it.
Oh, he is such a nice guy.
He is the best.
Sketch cards. Yeah, there you go. Lance needs to. Jason's mad. Lance needs to hook me up with something.
Jason, I actually, you should text him because he has a piece right now you would be very, very interested in, I think.
Well,
it's not Goblin Queen though, but it is a mutant.
It's not Cyclops. I can only guess that.
No.
Carl wants to know if I finished those Mike and Ike's. I actually have, I think, about 4 boxes of them left, Carl. But that means I've eaten at least, I don't know how many were in there. There was at least 12. So I'm at least 3/4 of the way through, probably.
Wow.
However, I came back. I didn't really eat at OAX, Chris, but somehow I managed to put on like 6 pounds when I was there. So I drank a fair amount. Yes, I drank and I ate Mike and Ike's. and that's not, I don't think a very good combination for me. I'm
Probably
almost
not.
back to where I was before I went to OAX now, but it was it's for me it's like I just get the fat tire, and it's not a good look
Oh,
for me.
that's what
Yeah.
we call diabetes fuel. If you're just drinking and eating candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the worst thing. It's like I'll usually have a couple beers a night, and I either want to have a bag of chips or a box of Mike and Ike's after I'm done. I don't know why. It's just it hits you like around midnight, and there I go. Maybe it doesn't hit you. It hits me that way though.
Oh, that's hilarious.
There you go. Jason sent his text, and Carl, I know I owe you an email. I apologize. I know you emailed me like last Saturday, and I kind of forgot about it till I saw your name in the chat. So I will email you tomorrow. But yeah, I haven't gotten anything. But I haven't been able to post all my OAX stuff. The other day when I was showing off everything, I didn't show off the near levy piece I got before. Kind of I posted a photograph of like everything I got on the floor around my carpet on Facebook. But got to get those things scanned because Near's piece is awesome, and and that was one of the people that he actually did a color, he digitally colored a print for it too.
Yeah.
And it was, it's everything you'd ever want. I mean, if I were to frame it, I would definitely frame the print with the line art too.
Cool. I haven't gotten a chance to scan my Von Randall yet either.
Oh, yep. Well, we got to get to work here, man. Well, when we say scan, we do have an app now. We could do it differently. I know. I like scanning stuff though too. That's the thing. I'll use the app when I have stuff that just can't be scanned, right? But
yeah,
I still like scanning. It is what I got to get the cam. I got to look into using that cam scanner stuff because I've never used that. I think if I had that would be good. Or if we could integrate that into the app as the photo tool, that would probably be fine too. We'll have to look into that. That might
Cam scanner just like it really automates a lot of the crap. Like it crops for you. It is really good at like the image detection portion of it. And it's super sharp. I don't know. No complaints. If it's something that's bigger than 11 by 17, my default now is cam scanner.
All right.
I don't want to stitch. I don't want to,
I know. Well, I use Photoshop, so stitching is actually kind of easy. I didn't use it for a long time. I used to do it manually.
Yeah.
Now I know I don't have to. Let's see. Joey mentions he wants to know what kind of scanner to get. I mean, like Carl mentioned, he uses an app called Scannable. We're talking about another app product called Cam Scanner. I use a Epson Workforce. Mine's the whole combo fax machine, printer, whatever. But if you look on Amazon, you can get one that doesn't do faxing and some other things, and they're shorter. Mine's like 18 inches tall. I mean, I don't use it.
Mine's huge too.
I should have, if I would have put a little more time and effort into it, I would have gotten one of the smaller, not as tall versions. But the Workforces are 11 by 17. They have a nice large flatbed that you can work with, and they're very reliable, and they're networkable. You can plug it into Ethernet or set it to Wi-Fi and print from anywhere or scan from anywhere. So that's a good feature because I have 2 laptops and a desktop. So for me, I think it's the best.
We have a plotter at work, and I've always been tempted to try that, but something about feeding original art into a roller makes me really like paranoid.
Yeah, no, I get that. And Marcus, good reminder there. If you do buy an Epson Workforce, do not update the firmware because once you do that, they force you to buy you can't put in like third-party inks, right? And that was all I was buying forever. I mean, it's not like I was saving a ton, $10 on per color or whatever. But one day when I updated the firmware, it would not accept those third-party products anymore, and I have to buy everything direct from Epson now. Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah, they I think so. I have a brother, and they actually rat you out if you put like third-party ink cartridges in it. It like sends you a message and is like basically like, "What the F are you doing?" It's crazy.
No, this one, it basically just kept saying that, it didn't say it was incompatible, but it kept saying like it can't read the cartridge, and I'm like, I put it in, and I had to finally Google it, and everybody on the Epson thing said, don't update your firmware. You'll never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Don't do it. You don't need to. It works fine out of the box. What else we got? Well, here, I'll have to say, Heritage. There's a lot of good stuff on Heritage this week.
All right.
I literally bid on 7 or 8 things, and
That's
I'm not
awesome.
doing any of them. There's that much good stuff. And I was like, Mike, what the heck, man? How do they literally have so many interesting pieces in here?
You didn't want to cox yourself.
Yeah, I know. And but the stuff I picked, I think, is all really good. Surprisingly,
Right.
I mean, I was still, even though I bid on a bunch of stuff. So look at this. We're talking about David Wright, Carol Days. There's 2 of them. You want, and that you don't have any? You can get this, and you'll have 2 to get started. Look at that. Here, I'll just
look at the inks in that first one.
I know the first one's the best one of the set, but yeah, just walking through the woods there. I mean, that's beautiful.
And it's all directional hatching for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got a little cross hatching on the neck and in the forehead, but wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's already $1,000. I think this might have been like the highest priced item that they had when I went there today, but still. I'll be curious to see where I didn't bid on this one, but I added some of these pieces to my watch list. Just again, and I've never do that ever. I've never even looked at my watch list on Heritage, so this will be a first. There was just enough good. There's a lot of good stuff.
I know. I have a couple pieces I'm watching myself right now, and I was suitably impressed.
I mean, this one's at $16.50. A Dave Cockrum, Legion of Superheroes 300 page. Look at that. I mean, this is the era of Dave Cockrum that I really, really, really appreciate the most. I mean, oh god, this is DC, and I love it.
That's great.
I did not. I said I'm watching this one because I haven't. I would never buy it, but I'm really curious to see where it goes.
I had a fun conversation with my youngest brother the other day because I had to explain to him how the Shi'ar Imperial Guard are all ripoffs of the Legion of Superheroes. He was like, "What? You're full of crap." I'm like, "No, here we go. Here's a little history lesson."
Right. I mean, take Superman out of here and throw Cyclops in there, and you would think that he was battling the Shi'ar or something, right?
Guardian is Superman.
Right. Right.
The Mohawk.
Yeah. Anyway,
Gladiator. Sorry.
Yes, but there we go. Where is this nice Legion page? Yeah, it is a nice one. And Robert, he knows the whole story on this one. Goes to the mirror universe.
Hence the goatee. Yep.
Yeah. Man, oh man, oh man. Yes. At any rate, what else did I pick here? Well, this was mentioned on the interview with Oliver Tappan Z the other day. He was mentioning that because he's a big FF fan, and we talked about Sienkiewicz inked by Joe Sinnott. And I might have passed this one over, but I love this panel right here.
That is good.
The big collars. I mean, the sexy scoop dress. I mean, my goodness. Look at the look on Ben's face. He's, I don't know. He's either happy or he's angry. I can't tell.
He's smirking.
But look at you get the fantastic car in this thing. I mean, this is a great page. I mean, whether you can't really see Bill in it too much, right? But it doesn't matter.
No. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, the fact is he did it.
Mm-hmm. Franklin looks coked out. Says
that's the Sienkiewicz part.
He does. Goody, I get to sit on Lori's lap.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
it was the 70s.
Looks like nephew's horning in on old uncle's action.
Mm-hmm. So Ben is bemused. That's what that expression is.
Oh my God. Look at that. That is funny. Boy, even Reed's he's intrigued. Boy. All right. But hey, I didn't pick this page, but I'm sure that Chuck saw it. There's a very nice Howard Chaykin page in this auction. So just saying, if you didn't know it was there, there's a very good American flag page in there. So just saying. Oh, and since Chuck's here, I'm going to show off the Chaykin art. Can I do that right now in the middle of a heritage read?
Do it.
Because I don't think Chuck saw this. He wasn't in the chat last week.
He didn't, and it's so good. I forgot I was going to text him about that.
Yep. Let me,
especially that shadow. It's haunting my dreams.
I know. The shadow is probably, well, they're all really good, but the shadow is awesome. Here, let me go full screen here. Chuck, since you didn't get to see these. It's my show. Thank you for the reminder, Chuck. All right, let's see. So Howard told me like a month and a half ago he was going to do. I had to go back and read the email recently. He said he's going to do more cover quality pieces, and I didn't. He's done a lot of stuff for the shows we've done in the past, although we haven't had him on in a year. But these pieces are incredible. So take a look at these. Look at that. He's done commission style pieces for us before, but never quite like this. So those are awesome. Here, and I'm not even centering myself. I gotta do a better job there. But there you go. We got those. We've got there's the shadows next. There you go. Nice Batman. And these are all on, looks like, I'll say 9x16. I'm not sure why he picks that size, but that's what he did. Here's the shadow. Look at that. It's so
Such
good.
a great pose.
I know. This is awesome, Tom.
And like how it sits on the page, it's just, man, so good.
Yeah, my sales show with Howard is the Saturday after next. And we got a Red Sonja with a beheading. But just the sepia tones, just adding that. Well, and now the line's much finer than he has done in some of his earlier shows he's had with me. But nice Red Sonja. We got a Captain America.
The cap is great.
Yeah.
The textures are perfect.
For you Star Wars fans, look at that. Look at that. It's not gonna autofocus because I don't have it set that way. But the Death Star is fairly well detailed, so you can see why. I think the best way to do is kind of set a base price and just let people bid on them, and then that way nobody can feel bad, right? You end up market will decide the price. A Psylocke, I mean, come on, I don't even think he's done a Psylocke before. He almost never draws X-Men characters. And then okay, I got to show this one off again. It's in the pile. Right there
she is.
And look, that's crazy. What was he thinking? These are on 11x17. These two.
That's well, magic in MILF mode.
Yeah, a little bit. She's got a little bit of yeah. Well, anyway, and then we have we got plenty of thigh gap on this Savage Land Rogue. So it would make Fish proud to see that. So there you go. Howard Chaykin stepping out of his comfort zone for the fans. Don't try to bait me. I'm not. Hey, there's a lot of people that like that character, Jason, and not just you.
Bill is a masturbator.
Oh boy, yeah, that's yeah. Okay, moving right along. What do we got next here after this one? I think here this where's Mr. DiTullio? We got a Simone DiMeo Batman Brave and the Bold cover, and I think this was sold on one of our shows or something.
Ooh, with the question.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is with you get the bat symbol on the ground. You get everything you'd like in a good DiMeo, where he's very thoughtful, but you get a lot of textures and stuff in here. I mean, I think the characters aren't big, but it don't matter. It's DiMeo. We all love his stuff, and this is this is great.
I mean, for me, that's his stuff is about the compositions. The great figures, great fighting, great whatever, but it's the camera angles and the compositions, and this has got all of that.
Stingray, it says it was sold on my show. Yeah, I don't remember which one though. I do believe you're right though. Maybe the interview show we did with him and Matt. But either way, here it is. I mean, I'm gonna bid on it. Shoot, it's only $5.75 right now. I'll take it. And Bill Ward, I tend to skip these over a lot. I mean, because all Bill Ward stuff is, it is what it is. It's humorama. But the cool thing about Ward, I mean, if you haven't seen these in person, I mean, they're really like 32 by 16. I mean, they're huge.
Really?
Yeah, like these in particular, whenever they're on this same paper, they're always much larger. So but then this one, I don't even read the gag. I don't even really care. I was thinking, if I was that old man at my desk, I wouldn't mind having that lady sit on my lap. So I had to pick this one. But I mean, there's a lot of bad Bill Ward art out there, stuff that he didn't put a lot of time into. But
Looks
this
slapped
era,
together.
Yeah, but this era of pieces by him, just the charcoal work that he did. I mean,
And the
it's
line weights.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
Very
And
nice.
I'll always, I mean, the guy, the men are always like so caricaturish, and then the women are just so, drawn with so much care. So, anyway, there you go.
Attention to detail.
Those are definitely 32s. All right. All right. The glint in the bracelet is cool. I know what you're looking at. Next up, John Bolton. Batman was what does it say? Saga of the Dark Knight trading card painting. So I thought that was cool. I mean, I like Bolton stuff. This is what year was this? Is it there 94. So that's not so bad. Lots of
Maybe a
bricks.
size consideration, but that's like more graphic than what I typically associate with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably thinking about how it's going to present at size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true, right? I mean, here you go. And it's cropped a lot. Well, not too much, but yeah, very nice. So Bolton painting.
Yeah.
Then I thought this page was great. A Gene Colan, Dan Adkins Tales to Astonish 101 Submariner page. So I mean, I just think the action on here is great. Look at that. I mean, that last panel, shoot.
And those wild poses.
Yeah. This is, I mean, I don't know. Tales to Astonish pages don't come up too often, especially with this much cool stuff going on.
Who'd you say is here?
Adkins on this one.
Okay.
So I might throw a bit on that one too. Again, it was just like, these are all good pieces. And gosh, the stuff I'm not showing you. Yes, exactly. Then what do we got here? We got a Neil Adams. I don't know. Every time I see a nice Neil Adams, I end up picking him. But
Dark Knighty pose.
Yeah, exactly. Not so bad. Two more here. Paul Smith X-Men page, everybody.
No way.
It's Al Milgrom X Factor, but
okay.
But look, it's got Cyclops in it in a couple panels.
That Beast panel is great.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I think this is great. I mean, again, what the heck, man? Why are they putting up? And so I didn't even bid on this one. So that just shows you that there's so much other really good stuff in this week's auctions.
You're not gonna bid on a Paul Smith where Cyclops is firing his optic blast.
All right. Well,
my God, Bill.
All right, it's $310. I promise I'll put a bid on it. All right.
Okay.
I'll make sure that somebody pays for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get a page from Uncanny, but yeah, look at that. All right, I'm sold. Last up, I picked this one just because it reminded me of Sarah Jane and the paperback conversation we had recently, where every paperback cover they used yellow as the primary focus, and this wasn't even a published one. This guy's like trying to get a job. It was a sample painting, and still did it with yellow. I mean, her dress is yellow. It's the wall's yellow.
Painting yellow sucks. If you can do it, if you're good at it and doing like the tonal stuff that he's doing and the color shift that he's doing, painting yellow sucks. That's an artwork unto itself.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's got yellow in his hair. Her hair is it's a little orange, but
is that Sharon?
Yeah, and Anthony when he had hair. Yeah, I don't know.
He's got a tube on.
That's right. Now, what was this? Noel says, "Is it all stat? Is it all stat? That'd be sad if it was stat." Now you're gonna make me go read the description. If it's stat, I'll cry. Oh, it does say 4 panels are paste up photocopies. Oh, that's awful.
Son of a.
So what panels are original? Only 2 panels on this, blah, blah, blah. The third with the Beast, the one that you liked, and the 5th with Archangel. Archangel. Archangel.
So the Cyclops is art.
Well, no, this only the 3rd and the 5th.
Oh, so only the 3rd and the 5th.
Only the 3rd and the 5th. How the hell did they do that? Why? Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, I'm so sad. Well, I won't be bidding on this one now. Sorry, Heritage. But hey, you got yeah, that's criminal. That's criminal. That's unfortunate. Thanks, Noel. I'm glad you boo, says Josh Sanders. Oh man. All right. Well, that was that was interesting at the moment. But again, you got to check out the lots. I don't usually say that there's a lot of great stuff in there on a Wednesday, but there is a lot of really good stuff in there.
All right.
But thanks for the catch on that one. I don't read the listings every time. Now I'm going to have to, right? I mean, that's caught us a few times, Chris, over the years, not reading all the descriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right, well, let's take a look at the EXP video that we got from Mr. Nick Baruchi, who is
Thoroughly
here
dose of
briefly.
Nick.
Yeah, but I know for a fact that the back wall is bare again for this one. Let's see why.
Everybody, no art again, but there's a really good reason why. So this Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on the Original Art Experience, there will be art, but one of the community members, Daryl's friend and colleague, Officer Jason Roscoe, was killed in the line of duty. And this past Friday, we raised $650 in art sales for his family between my art and the lithographs that Spencer Beck donated, plus the super chats that will be going to his family. But Tom McDonald and Kavi and a few other people wanted to do even more. So instead of my doing a show on Friday, the show on Friday will have art that has been donated to raise money for Officer Roscoe's family. I guess, in a way, even though Officer Roscoe is only connected through Daryl, he's connected through Daryl. And Officer Roscoe is a friend of Daryl's, and that makes him a friend of the community. So, well, I would love to have put some art up for sale this Friday. This takes priority. Helping a member of the community is more important than anything. So Friday, February 14th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the Original Art Experience. Please tune in if you can. We will be selling art, raising money for Officer Roscoe's family. I'll also donate art. Please do hit that thumbs up and share if you don't mind. Sharing is caring. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday. But Tom McDonald, Kavi, Jeff Wedding possibly will all be leading the show. I'll be on the side, but they're doing something great, and we wanted to support them on our platform. So thank you very much, and see you guys Friday.
There you go. That'll be tomorrow. I might tune in for that. Not a lot going on tomorrow. So we can, well, the thing is, I don't have videos for my 2 bits of market data talk, but I can talk and show you the slides on a couple of them and remind everybody how you can look up eBay pricing, because why not, right? But dealers, $256,000 last week that we tracked. For Meter Man 109, Anthony had 42, Felix had 32, Splash Page had 27. What do we got in there? Panel Page had 15. Albert had 14, and that's about it. So let's see here. Top sales from art dealers. I'm not going to show any of these, but Berkey, of course, had one great sale. $85,000 was the list price. It was for a Amazing Spider-Man 135 cover. So I don't have the images for it. Sorry. Then he sold a Chris Pacello Death High Cost of Living page for $22,000. That's about all. That's pretty much his total right there. Then we got Panel Page, Anthony, and Splash Page, and Albert Moy rounding things out here. But I will show you on the auction side, average week 350 was the total. But here, let me highlight this in the chat. So, this is like tormenting me. Everybody knows I'd love to get one of these one day. This piece sold for $11,000. Bernie Wrightson, Cycle of the Werewolf plate for the month of August. And, when you're on eBay, a lot of times it'll say what it sold for, or it will say, or best offer. That almost means it was best offer. So, but they don't tell you here what the best offer price was. So this one was a list price of 11. Now, if you go over to this site called 130point.com, And I think when you go there's a link up at the top that says search eBay prices. Pretty much just copy paste the title for anything into this search box and hit submit, and you'll see they actually can show you that the offer price was $10,000. So I would like one for
That
myself.
feels so cheap.
I know at 10,000. I mean, I know it's just
Yeah.
it's an average scene, but still, it's from that era.
Period
And
rights in.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd take that in a heartbeat. So because I wasn't thinking that it was really gonna, 10,000 seems fair. Anyway, what else is next? So I think this one, does this one say the same thing? No, this was actually at auction, and this seems cheap, right?
It
$8,800 for
does.
Walt Simonson Thor. I don't. What does it say with this? Is it small? Is it 9x12? No, it's on 11x17.
And for
So,
charity. Can write it
right.
off.
How on earth did this go for that little? I mean, is nobody paying attention to eBay? I'll be fair. I didn't notice it because I don't really look at eBay much anymore. But
It's great too.
right. I mean, that's cover quality right there. How on earth did that happen? I don't know.
Be
But that one,
surprised if that doesn't get used as a cover.
right. Right. That is weird. So $8,800, only 26 bids on that thing. Jason says one went cheap in Comic Link. I guess that was Tuesday night. Nobody goes to eBay anymore. Well, there you go. maybe you might want to check it out every once in a while. This one, I think this one we clearly know a best offer was accepted, and it's for an Invincible page that was $4,500 first. So let's see if this works for us. Copy paste the title. Go back over here to 130point.com. Every once in a while, the full title doesn't work, and I have to take a few keywords out. But this one worked. $3,200 on it, so it's $1,300 off. Not too shabby. A little more than what's like 40, 30%, 40%, something like that. Anyway, so there you go. 130point.com is where you can get the actual prices on eBay auctions when best offers happen. Then the best sellers over on Heritage. This one was a nice one. It's a Kirby Everett Thor 170 page. And again, how did I not see this one? I swear to God, this piece was not in the set when I looked at it last week. It's impossible, right? It's the end page. The Wrath of the Wrecker is the next issue. I mean, come on, look at that. But again, this
Thor
thing went
sulking on a rooftop.
Yes, definitely. And $21,600 for that. It's got it. The Everett inks on Kirby are what did it. Then the complete story, Journey into Fear, Robert Webb stuff. So it's the complete book that got it into the $14,000 range, and then a Jeffrey Catherine Jones Star Reach unpublished cover. Kind of weird that that looks like they used they actually went to the book to throw in a clear overlay on here, because I'm sure that wasn't on there when they bought it. We know some people do that, but does it make it any more valuable? I'd honestly rather not even have it on there, right? I mean, for a Jeffrey Catherine,
you can flip it, or
you can flip it over.
Don't mount
I get it.
Yeah.
So hey, Johnny Amore, Johnny Makes Comics in the chat. Mr. Best of in the mystery sketch category. All right. Well, there you go. Those are my Heritage and again, advice on the 130 point to use in the future.
What a weird name for a website.
I know. Who knows what I think it was a sports card site for something in the beginning, and then I don't even know what the site's used for. It's the only site out there that still works to show off best of pricing, or best offer pricing. I'm sorry. Now I'm stuck on Johnny Amore and his best of status. All right, let's take a look at our picks this week. And we start off with you. And it was kind of a lean week on CAF in some ways.
It was.
I had a little bit of difficulty finding my 10, but I made it. I made it to the end. So
I got to 8. And then I got a lot less choosy.
All right, so this is a Matthew P's CAF Gallery, 10-year veteran of Comic Art Fans, Chris Somney. piece here. And is this? It is okay. It's a published Superman cover. Take a look at that.
I picked this knowing that I would take heat for picking Somni again, but I love all the individual characterizations of Superman that are on here. He treats each one like a little bit differently to like add that edge to, where it's appropriate, or like there's a child version, there's like a Superboy version. So I thought that was really well done, but I really love the like arrayed crystals as kind of the backdrop or the unifying element for the cover. I thought that was a really clever idea.
Yeah, it is really nice. I like the heavy line work too in here. He's not afraid of that. I mean,
that's what he does.
I mean, I know. I don't. To me, I'd be scared to death. I'd be starting off with some fine lines, and yet he's got no fear here. Gosh, I didn't even notice. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I didn't even notice the long hair Superman in the corner there. I don't know how I missed that when I was looking at this first
insect Superman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I really love is he'll post process pictures of his doodles on Instagram, and so he'll show the pencils, and then maybe he like refines the pencils a little bit. But like, what startles me is how fast he goes from concept right to ink. And I think a lot of the thick line or the line quality stuff that you're talking about, the blacks, basically, it's almost like I don't know, like that's how he sees it from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't do it.
Same.
Stingray's lamenting. He says, my Somni didn't get picked, but I was timed poorly. What does timed poorly mean? We're gonna have to get down to the science of getting picked on for the show. But what is this? Marcus says just delete it and repost it.
You could do that. I don't think I've seen it, but I would say if you want to like whatever, if you want to garner my attention, I'm paying closer attention to stuff that's being posted on Sunday, because that's what I look at first. Because I do my picks on Monday or Tuesday, and I just go, I go back, and then I go back, and front loading it, like I'm like, ooh, cool, oh, that's nice, and I haven't gotten like 20 picks yet, so I don't have to edit. But I do look at every single piece of art added to CAF, my hand to God.
Well, here you go. There it is, just for you, Stingray.
It's a beauty. You get too much attention, Stingray. Sit down.
Yeah,
you're becoming Jason Part 2.
Right. The more we show off Stingray, man, the more people are going to be interested in collecting it. So you might as well start thinking.
Then you're screwed.
Talking about your stuff at all. Exactly.
Before you know it, there's going to be a Tiger Shark fan.
Right. Exactly. I mean, look at the price on Elementals pages these days. I should never have told anybody that was cool. I can't even a Hawkman, Joe Kubert bait. I'm never going to get one now because I'm never going to find one.
Same.
So, yeah.
And I picked one this week like a real idiot.
I know you did. I was like, son of a gun. But hey, it's in a good guy's CAF gallery. So, at any rate, there you go, Stingray. You get 2 pieces shown off tonight. All right, Andrew Hanna, what has he got? Oh, this was the Miles piece. This was really nice. Miles did some just a ton of great paintings for OAX, and most of them had red dots, or if not all of them having red dots by the end of the show, and that was just cool to see because his pre-OAX pieces that he did for, I remember the Rorschach for Tom last year was phenomenal. He also did Spider-Man. But just imagine, 12 or 14 of those on the wall, same quality, same size, and pre-OX, but they were all just stunning, absolutely stunning.
Well, I love the lighting on this, I think, more than anything. And like when you get something that's got facets like Boba Fett's helmet does, you really get a chance to show off that lighting because you can play with those high reflections and the low points that are deeply in shadow. But one of the things that I've noticed that he is pretty consistent is how rich he makes the shadows. So there's a deceptive amount of color in those shadows. They're not just blacks, and like you can't always see it in a scan, but some scans you can. There's just like, there's a lot of green and stuff like that that are happening in the shadows that kind of like unify the whole image. It doesn't make it so stark and blocky, which I really appreciate. But again, getting back to like, this one is really all about lighting for me. The reflections and the high points and the low points, I think he just nailed on this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Everybody who saw his work, yeah, he's very, very talented, and being in the IAX room was just kind of perfect. He was set up near Pratt and James Martin, so it was just kind of a cool corner. You
That's
walked
cool.
over there, and it's nothing but great artwork to look at. I mean, the whole room was that way, but it just felt right. Because last year he was in an aisle, one of the like middle aisles or whatnot. And he was near Eric, next to Eric Grove, but yeah, it just felt different. Because we had the pro panel walls for them to hang stuff on. Presentation was just totally different, but exactly what helped set off those pieces by miles. And some people in the audience or at OX got to understand what a red dot meant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Next up, where are we going to after this? This is that's right. This is in Greg Wilson's calf. The elongated man. He's got a funny way of using his nose there in that last panel.
Mm-hmm.
But explain this one to me. I mean, the inks are very rich.
They are, and I really loved the individual characterization. So something that Jeff Johnson was talking about when he talked about the Maguire piece in the Page I Love segment. Everyone looks like a different character here, and like somebody like I'm just using this as an example because Jim Lee, for example, takes a lot of heat for like everyone looks like everyone else, right? Like you can't tell Batman from Superman with their masks off, et cetera, et cetera. There is a lot of effort expended here into the characterization of these individual people. And like, that's a skill. That's an admirable skill. And like, this is bordering on cartooning in a way, but because of that exaggeration of everyone's individual characterizations. So not very knowledgeable, I'll admit, about Sid Green. But like, if this is what he does, I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. And I saw it's not a man bun NSN, but it does kind of look like it. But yes,
that's her hair. Yeah,
that's just her hair. But you can look at it different ways and see. But NSN says he's going to be dropping some really great artwork, so I guess we should be looking forward to seeing what that is.
I believe him.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that is a weird tangent, though.
It is. Yeah, it is odd. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he didn't see it, but it's kind of hard not to see it now.
Yeah.
Tom McDonald says that Miles donated 2 colored pencil sketch cards for the auction tomorrow night. That's very nice, Miles.
Cool.
All right, what do we got next? Michael Alpers. Now, is this the piece that we saw that was one of the? Did I feature this? It looks like the one, like maybe it was picked up on an auction or something. I can't remember. But now who? This is Max Fiamara, right?
Yeah. I didn't remember it if you had shown it before. I apologize, but this I saw this thumbnail and I was like, ooh, I need to go reread Grendel Warchild. It had like that kind of visceral impact on me. And somebody mentioned Grendel Prime last week when we were talking about a different character, and so this maybe was preloaded in my mind for this week, but I absolutely love the textures on this. The level of detail is tip top. But I think more than anything, the way he's kind of chosen to place the figure in the image, which is a different way of saying the composition of the piece. But I feel like when you're talking about like just a figure, essentially, it's not so much a composition, right? It's like more like how you chose to place the figure. And that's aces here. Like the angle of the figure, the cutting against the angle of the figure with the laser sword. I absolutely love this. There's so much happening, but it's just Grendel Prime.
Yeah, this is by Max Fiamara, and it's so cool. I mean, he's got the figure down to into a position that just isn't normal, but it just works perfectly for the costume, the character. It's put so much detail in the and the gear on them as well. Yeah, I think it's awesome. And I got to see, obviously Max wasn't at OAX, but he'd be a good guest one year.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed his stuff. So congrats to Mr. Elpers. Next up, what do we got here? This is, oh yeah, look at that. There it is, the brave and the bold. Joe Kubert, man, every time I see a Kubert, I honestly got it because Anthony had one last night, and I knew he had one on his website, but it just made me go and see, what pieces are out there. And there's like, I think there's like 4 or 5 on the market right now. So, but they're just a little bit out of reach. I always remember that first Dueling Dealers time we had it. It was like episode 16 or something like that. And Mike had one and he sold it for $6,500.
I know.
And
what's sick, what is so sick is I told myself, if this goes for less than $8,000, I'm gonna buy it. And I got beat in like I posted, I was like, claim. I just got beat cold.
Mm-hmm. And I hadn't gotten the bug at that point. So, I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, one day I'll get a Kubert. And at that point I was always thinking, I'll just get a cheap 4-page. But the more, it's just, it grows on you. So congrats, Rom. You've got a good one here. I mean, there's
beauty.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you got a couple panels with
both the Hawks.
Yeah. No, this is great.
Sherry's got her mask up in that one. Carter, they both have their mask up in that third panel. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
stuff.
every one of these is great. Yeah. The transition, just this thin panel with the guy using the ham radio. I mean, it's perfect.
Hawkman coming out the window is so small, but it's so well done.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with this piece. So Marcus says, I always go for the cheap example. Thank you, Marcus. You make me feel so good. But here, let me get I haven't been in the app a lot this week. I need to get back into it so I can I usually hit the thumbs up over there. It's so much easier.
I haven't either. It keeps signing me out. And I couldn't tell you what my damn calf password is.
Signing you out? Really?
Yeah, it's been saved in my computer since Christ was a boy. And so I just go there and my computer logs me in, so the app was like, oh, what even is my password?
Interesting. So I haven't been here in a couple of days. I just want to see if it's going to sign me out too. No, I'm still signed in.
If you log into CAF on your PC, does it log you out of the app?
No. Separate.
Okay. I wondered about that.
Yeah, it's definitely different session variables to make both work. Tom Coker's posting art tonight. He's in my watch list. What did he post? A Frank Miller Sin City page. Very nice.
Oh, that's
yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know. I did have one person comment that when you do get to the login page, they'd like an option where you can see the password. Which we don't have that, where you can click the little eyeball and it'll show it to you because they're
several people in the chat have said they've gotten signed out. Jason, Red Jack, Southern Comic Geek.
I don't know why that would be. Is it like every time you go to the app or just periodically?
Not every, but like if I'm not in it for a couple days, maybe it's inactivity or something. But yeah, it signs me out, and then I'm like, damn it, what is my password? Okay. And I don't want to change it because then I'm gonna jack up my PC. And this is how I do picks, and so like I don't want to. Yeah.
Well, I'll ask. I got my meeting with Andy tomorrow, so I'll ask him about it. I would say like once every 10 days I'd have to log in, but I've never seen it where it was like every other day or something like that. But I mean, you never know. I mean, if I bring it to his attention, at least it's something he can look into.
Maybe it's just me too.
Comics got signed out of the Starbucks app today. What is this world coming to?
It's trying to tell you something. God loves comics. They're drinking better coffee.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do we got here? Brian Sook, of all people. We talked about him earlier. We're talking about him here. He's got a cat fight going on here of some sort. And
I absolutely, wow. I just love his draftsmanship. I think honestly, I am hard pressed to think of a better pure artist in comics today, as far as like his level of what would I say? Accuracy. I mean, everything is bordering on absolute realism, and that is incredibly difficult to do. But to tell you the truth, the reason I picked this is because that top panel, it is incredibly difficult to wedge two characters together like that. And to have it look as not awkward or forced as, I mean, it already looks awkward and forced, right? But like that's deliberate because they're like clashing. But to have it come out and still have it be that, I'm going to say it again, accurate, is really a feat of illustration. And Sook is just so incredible with anatomy, with, you know, look at those facial expressions on Black Canaries as she's getting hammer fisted.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredible.
He is. No, I've always loved Ryan's stuff. I mean, it is a great page. You're absolutely right. It was the first panel that did it for me as well. But yeah, the more you look at it, you realize how good Ryan is. You need a bigger scan.
Yeah.
Richard F. 9-year look, celebrating their 9th year
this month.
Yeah, we need to have like a little. You come to CAF and there's like a little birthday cake in the corner for you.
There you go. Maybe for premium members.
That's right. Look at everybody thinks
give us something.
Your password is Grim Forever. Cue ball 233.
Oh, nice.
Oh shoot! All right, he's not telling everybody. He's not telling.
Keep speculating. Keep speculating.
Oh boy! All right, Snob 10 is the gallery owner here. Not even a year-old member, and this is a Hector Trunek. I'm not familiar. Hector Trunek. Tronic. I don't know, but wow! Look at all the detail on this piece.
Right. Look at the richness on those colors too. He's got the Hot Rod Gundam colors going. You know, those really bright saturated reds and blues and yellows. I've said this 100 times, but like I'm such a huge fan of guys who are good at technical drawing, and like Hector Tronic is good at technical drawing. I mean, like there is not a line, an angle, an intersection, a seam, nothing out of place here. And when you can draw something that's metal that looks like metal, and you know, like I'm just here for it. That's all there is to it. And this is really, it's elegant. I mean, Gundam, the designs are elegant, right? For the most part. And, you know, he's really getting that across. The background is just a simple, like, you know, modeled wash, but it really makes the whites and honestly, the blues especially pop on this. And I think this might have been sold at OAX because one of the things that I was really lamenting about not being able to get there was that his rep was there. And I was like, oh, I wonder if he'll have Hector Tronic art.
Saw it at OAX 2025. You're right.
There you go. Son of a beast.
Who was the rep?
Oh, I'm struggling. Somebody in the chat will know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll wait. See, Andrew's they're just rubbing it in right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Artist Bullpen.
Artist Bullpen. Thank you. Yeah, Tommy Lee Edwards guy.
All right. Yep, he had some art. There you go. There you go. Marcus says your password's IPA 99.
I've been seeing this guy's stuff online for quite a long time, actually, and always really admired it, but never really knew, you know, like any more about it other than the fact that he was great at drawing, you know, Gundam.
Right. Well, I'm interested now. I didn't get to talk to the guys at Artist Bullpen at all, though they delivered that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles page to me. But yeah, I saw him out of the corner of my eye numerous times.
I have to email that guy because I'm desperate to know if any of the covers that Tommy is doing for those Gotcha Man comics that are coming out right now, I'm desperate to know if any of those are traditionally painted, and if they are.
Yeah, you're a buyer. Gotta get it. Gotta jump in line, man. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it until you sent the email.
You're right, son of a.
I thought after 3 years of doing this, you would have learned the technique.
I'm so dumb, Bill. I'm so dumb.
Oh man. Well, here you go. Steve Lawrence, mentioned him earlier, and I mean, come on. I mean, this
Yeah.
all that the Titans covers from this era are spectacular for different reasons, but the storylines
Right.
were so damn good. They worked, those two together were such a great team, and they just complemented one another so well. And this is
Yeah.
look at this. This is so great.
The facial expressions on Starfire and Blackfire are so good that you almost ignore the fact that the Titans appear to be like in the vacuum of space. They're all dying outside in space, especially, Robin's probably being turned inside out there, but look
Man.
at the like anguished expression on Starfire. I mean, it's just in the figural work. This is peak Perez, in my opinion. And that's saying something. I mean, his body of work, his his status kind of in the industry for, in my opinion, for me to say this is like peak, like that's really saying something, because you're saying like this is the best from one of the GOATs.
Mm-hmm.
And it is.
It is. It really is. We don't know who named her, and she is hot. All right.
Your mom, Jason, your mom.
Yeah. Jason, there he said it. I'm buying up all the Gotcha Man now. If he could only tell. But
don't be like fish. Don't be like fish. Don't buy something that you know that I want and then refuse to sell it to me.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Yeah. All right, Marcus. This is our second catfight artwork, all picked by Chris Snorek, not me. All right. I'm just pointing that out. This is coming from
I'm a simple man.
All right, what do we got here? Something from Mickey's Calf Gallery, Steve Lytle, Legion of Superheroes page. And let's see here. Do I recognize any of the characters? Well, I don't know. They look familiar. Tell me about this one. I love Lytle's work.
That's why I picked it. There wasn't enough Lytle on Legion of Superheroes. I mean, and like to see one of these is like, I saw it and I was like, I got to pick that, just because like, we need to talk about Steve Lytle a little bit. And like, for me, the fact that like I wish so badly he had done more of this, because they were so good.
Yeah, no, I love his stuff. The detail that he puts in the pieces. We can click on this. Mickey's a premium member. He takes care of us. Look at that. That's fantastic.
His anatomy was so good, but it's exaggerated, right? Like that's, I think one of the things that I definitely associate with him is that the anatomy is exaggerated, but it's not like a McGinnis where like everybody looks like He-Man, right? It's refined exaggeration where it's like look at Manel and Tirok's shoulders, right? They're really wide. And they're pretty like elongated, like they've got that like V thing happening with their torsos, but it's not like, it doesn't take you out of it. It makes them look like more heroic, but at the same time, there's still a nice level of like, realism. Yeah,
nope, I agree with you totally. Wesley Gleason reminds us that Lytle's classic X-Men covers are amazing, and they certainly are. Yes. Well, congrats, Mickey. Always adding great pieces to his calf. I think when we ran the best of figures, one of the categories was most artwork added to calf, and it was fun. I thought Mickey, would be right at 365 because he seems to add one piece a day. It was like 357, so he was less than 10.
Well, he was at calf, or he was at OAX.
Right, that could be playing into it, but yeah, it was just funny because he's like clockwork. He has one piece of art added to his calf every day. I mean, I've never seen anybody quite like him. But thank you, Mickey. Let's see. I think this is your last one, right? This is Calf Gallery in here. Oh, Lucha Baldi. All right, and I mean, come on. The whole page is incredible. I love that last panel though.
It's prototypical Miller. I mean, I I kind of feel like this is where artistically this story is kind of where, for me anyway, I was like, this is like he's done it all at this point with this style. And like after this, I felt like it like either went too far or like, I don't know, like the first mini I think is the best, but I think it's the best because the story was the best. Big Fat Kill though, I feel like is where the art style like really kind of like peaked, and like we're looking at it.
Yeah, that's great. I like this. I love the car. Love the, it's wonderful. It really is very, very nice. Oh man, I
And
just
the
got
way he tilts the whole thing, like even the word balloon is tilted. I mean, yeah.
Right. Well, it's perfect. It's just kind of spilling over the way he's done that. And yeah, whoever bid on the Paul Ryan FF page, that's what I say to you. I even made it. I even put a decent bid on that one, and somebody outbid it. If you're in the audience, I don't want to know who did that. I put a $500 bid on something on day one. I mean, that's
Paul
insane.
Ryan stuff is getting expensive, and like,
I know,
sorry, I don't think it's that great.
No, I mean, okay, I like this one page. There were two Paul Ryan FF pages, and yep, there you go. You know, I'm trying to fill that gap in my collection from never owning a Paul Ryan piece, and I don't know if I'm gonna go where I'll go from there. Anyway,
sorry,
great pick on there. I know it is what it is. I've got like 5 or 6 other things I'm bidding on this week, so maybe I'll get lucky. Anyway, so there you go. Hey, we're not complaining. I like Paul Ryan stuff. I do. I really do.
I just
go without. And it's probably you that I'm bidding against now. Mr. Red Jacket, he knows what page I'm talking about. Had Johnny in it. You know, if he was blasting something. I don't know. It was a good page. All right, where are we going to my picks here? First up, this was from OAX, and when we all saw it was from Uko Smith, and I think everybody who was on the team was like, "Ooh, that looks like a good one," and it was. It was beautiful in person, and I think that this went to Khalil, right? Khalil? Yeah, this is Khalil's piece. So congrats to Khalil on getting this one. It was spectacular in person. So. I mean, Uko did a lot of work for the fans all weekend, and the few pieces I got to see, they were great, really, really great. Yep, there you go. Jason loved it.
Little stealth freeze vibe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey Corey, good night. Thanks again for that case of bourbon. I'll try to
send
put
me
it
one. Send me one, Corey. I'll send you money.
We're gonna figure out how to sponsor a little, after party at OAX next year, and Corey and his case of bourbon will be invited.
Brought to you by Maker's Mark.
Yeah, I was just so shocked when I saw it, because he said he was bringing it, and then I forgot about it, and then I walked over to the OAX booth, and there was a case of bourbon sitting right there. Yeah, you're the best, Corey.
You know what, Bill? While you talk, I'm actually gonna reload. So I'll be like in the background listening. We'll
be watching you pour. All right, where are we going to from here? All right, this was another OAX pickup. Marco Rudy, I think, just impressed a lot of people. There was when we look at guests for the show, there's you look for people who have got the cred already, and people you think are going to gel well with other creators, and and I got my one pick where I said, I'd like Marco Rudy to come in. He was just using CAF around like April, May a lot in the of last year, and so I was seeing him post his own stuff. I think we saw 1 or 2 commissions pop up there. There was the commission that Stingray got. And so when we were at Heroes, I was like, this is my one like off the wall pick, that I think people are gonna like, because he's just it's painted, number one, and his anatomy is very distinct, and the color palette he uses is unique too. So this
Well,
is
it's a high level of abstraction, like for
yep.
sure, and the angles that he's cutting are extreme. It reminds me a little bit of like Eon Flux, so like the Peter Chung, like especially in the female anatomy portions, but there's a strong design underneath all this.
Yes, no, completely. I mean, and across the board, the piece he did for Daryl was a Lone Wolf and Cub. I mean, I'm sure if you click on here, you'll just see it was just stunning. I mean, Alberto got the cap, Aranga got a Mystique. I mean, everybody should just go check it out. Andrew Hanna got this Black Widow. I mean, they're all great. Oh yeah, the Tyler T. Venom, for crying out loud. I mean, they were all just better and better and better and better every time. It was like, boy. And it's like, I don't think anybody was disappointed with this stuff. And all 11 by 17, so large. I mean, they're just impressive stuff. So I could almost
it's
think
got to look beautiful on a wall too, because we all know how damaging scans are to full color art.
That is true. Well, I should say congrats to Jason and to everybody else who got something from Mr. Rudy at the show. Let me get my like on this one. This is in Kirk Dilbeck's Cap Gallery, right? Yep. And this is from Jim Starlin, just a Rampaging Hulk cover. To me, it's kind of nostalgic just to see this image. I mean, I remember seeing it on the newsstand at the drugstore back in the day. But these are good. These are fun. And it's not like you get to see Starlin painted pieces too often. And this is a good one.
I saw this, and like I'm not familiar with the original because Rampaging Hulk predates me a little bit, but I saw this and I was like, why is Namor cosplaying as Son of Satan?
I didn't even think that, but now I can't unsee
the
that.
red cape just throws the whole thing,
Yeah, it does. Oh well, now I can't unsee it that way. But look, it's perfect. It's reflected in Hulk's eyes there.
Yeah,
and his gums. I didn't see that either. Man. But no, it's a good one. Kirk, this is his era for collecting, I think. I mean, he has a lot of modern stuff too, but his sweet spot is mid 70s to very, very early 80s. So congrats to Kirk for picking this thing up. Even Rob says he can't unsee the Son of Satan now. Oh man, I hope Kirk's not watching. Okay, I already like that one.
I think he's a big Defenders fan. He should be okay with that comparison.
Definitely. Defenders, Avengers. I mean, he's you're right. The Defenders side in him made that one work. Yeah, Jason, IDW is having a big sale on their artist editions right now. So for those of you who haven't been hit with the Facebook ad, if you go pop over to IDW and then go over to Facebook and you'll see artist edition ads for the next at least 24 hours. But 50% off. I don't think the Paul Smith is in the 50% off category, but there are several. I think that a couple John Byrne books are in the 50% off category. Definitely worth it.
Spidey stuff.
But yeah, exactly. A bunch of Spidey stuff. So if you got some holes in your collection for the artist edition books that Dune Beer put together while he was there, head on over. They're probably not going to be any cheaper than they are right now.
Yeah.
Jason even ordered 2. Good. It's like buying 1, right? He ordered 2, 50% off. All right, back to this one. Gene Park. Just a fun, memorable page from Alpha Flight. The last panel is always awesome. I mean, I don't know. End of the day, I guess you could say this was more of a nostalgic pick for me, but just good, fond memories of reading that book. And I like even that last word balloon with Snowbird being like the font being 3 times taller, just gives it some emphasis. It's just a well thought out, drawn page. Love it.
Yeah, that's perfect Byrne.
Yeah, John Byrne. Yeah, Chuck. And you look at how do you text and talk at the same time? I don't know how you do it. That is your superpower. I don't know how that's just impossible. And that Snowbird is gorgeous. Yes, that was 90% of the reason I picked this page.
It's a powerful image of Snowbird.
And then here we go. Stingray. Look at Stingray gets another plug today. His near Levy Stingray piece. Look at this thing. Nier is just kind of next level. I mean, look at the amount of detail in there. Is that
It's a
even with a
wild take. It's a wild take on the character too. The thing that I really love is that he echoed that unique, like, kind of arrow shape on Stingray's mask as the like scuba mask.
Mhm.
So he's putting like little nods to the actual character designs in these like kind of wild redesigns that he does. But it's like, it makes it, if you know the character, it makes it recognizable.
Mhm. Is that it looks like a different color ink on the sea life stuff around him, and I have to look at the color piece. There we go.
Yeah.
I got to get mine posted. All right, this is killing me. Yeah, this is great.
Awesome
yeah.
saturation on the main figure and like the manta ray element.
Mm-hmm.
It really like makes that pop from that, you know, kind of desaturated or more monotone background.
Yeah. Well, congrats, Stingray. This is a good one. Anybody who got a piece from Nier at OAX had to be very happy. Yeah. I mean, he was top of our list too when we were talking with Tatiana. Long before she came on board with us, Nier was like somebody we knew we wanted to have at the show. So it was really good to be able to work that out. Nier is the best. And another guy I meant to talk to. I mean, I commissioned him. I literally talked to him for a minute in the hallway. It's like I don't think I saw him sitting at his table because I didn't get the chance to walk by Tatiana's table hardly at all. She was like right in the middle of the hall. Well,
you know what's funny though, Bill, is like everyone else's lament about OAX is the same as yours.
Yeah, isn't that true?
Like
it's
I
funny.
didn't have enough time to talk to this person. I didn't have enough time to talk to that person. I saw this person from across the room and we waved, and then I never like connected with them, or whatever it might be. It's all the same.
Exactly. I know. It's like I saw Rich Cirillo at the reception, and I think I saw him maybe once or twice, like you say, across the hall or whatever. But he's a guy that, I mean, he can talk, I could talk, and we would run into each other all the time at like New York Comic Con, and we would have 5-10 minute conversations. I feel like I didn't even see him after the damn reception. So, oh well, it is what it is. But congrats, Stingray, on this one. You did well. Everybody did well. Then this is a 100 Bullets commission by Rizzo. Just fun. I like, a good bar scene. This is the kind of piece you'd want to hang up in your bar at home if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, I love the lighting on it, the bar stool.
Me too.
Perfect
separation. Perfect separation between all the elements. Like where he puts his blacks and like where he does his lighting is so adapt. Is so like just adapt.
Yeah, this is it's nice, and you're gonna get football on TV too. Look at that. Where are we at? Whose calf are we in here? Oh, Tangled Web Art. Look at that. 5th anniversary from the Netherlands.
All right.
Congrats. Okay, 4 more pieces to look at here. Now this one, I really, really, really wanted this in a bigger scan. I like, Reed Crandall isn't somebody who we talk about too often, and this has got Williamson inks on it. But this is one of those ones where it's just like, you got to like pay this guy to be premium for a day and ask him to rescan it. And whose is this?
Yeah.
Wallace Harrington. Wallace. Wallace has a great collection. But man, this one we need is a large scan because
did Wallace used to be premium?
I think so.
Maybe I think so.
Oh, look, he's a 21-year member of CAF. Come on, Wally, get back in here. We want the big scans, because this is one that I think would be jaw dropping if you could see the detail, the tree in the background. I mean, the characters. I just think this is a great piece. So even Rich and Danny's, yeah, it's gorgeous. Jeff won't let you leave his table. We talk about Isherwood. Everybody loves Jeff. All right, 3 more to go. Where are we going to? Oh, Scout.
Oh, yeah.
Truman. This is too awesome. Rick W. We know Rick loves Truman's work. Everybody knows I like Truman's work too. I gotta find the right page. There's a few pieces out there, but my goodness, what an awesome cover. This is gorgeous. everything I love about that era. Eclipse Comics. It's wonderful. I mean, I'm so look, it's 1985. I'm a junior in high school at this point, but I was able to drive to the comic shop and actually see these. This is great. Love the logo.
What's weird about Truman to me is unlike so many artists, I think his earlier stuff is better. Like typically somebody starts out and like, oh, they're good. They didn't quite figure it out yet, or their style changes a little bit or whatever. And like you gravitate to a certain period. And I feel like normally that's like mid to late in their career. Mm-hmm. Truman, for whatever reason, I think this is his best stuff.
No, I agree. And
it was early.
Yeah. Doggone it. Is there what do we got in here? Oh yeah, he does have the color version, because I saw the note. It said make the logo a different color so it stands out different from the previous issues. And they did a good job of that, didn't they? Yep. Wow. That's that's a bullseye and a half right there. But no, this is awesome. I love seeing work from this era. This is great. Rick, you did really well by adding this one to your calf. Mr. Red Jay says he never read the book until he saw that cover. That's good. It's a great cover.
Yeah,
very striking. All right, get the like on there. What do we got here? 2 more to go. This is in Jeff Wedding's calf, and I know that he mentioned that he picked up 6 or 7 pages from Brian Thies at OAX. I like his work a lot. It's very reminiscent of like maybe Michael Lark a little bit, or but I just feel it's like it's back to the heavy line work, very confident. The brush work is just shines. I mean, I like the cape here. I love this little panel here. I mean, it's just so well done, and it's just shapes. To me, it's just
the one on the top. His cape on the top is literally just brush strokes.
Yep.
There isn't a border. Right. There isn't a.
Yeah, there's no definition for it at all, but it works.
No. Yeah.
So Jeff did well. I saw some of the other pages he got from Brian, and they were all really, really nice. Brian's somebody who I've seen. I can't say I've seen his work in person, but I've seen it. I've gone over to Mark Hayes' site enough, and I like it. Like his work a lot. And this was stuff that I think Brian had mentioned that he pulled out of his, whatever he found. He found these Star Wars pages that laying around, and so he brought them to OEX. You knew Jeff saw that post and was like right there. So yeah, congrats on that one, Jeff. All right, what do we got? One more. What did I pick flat?
Oh, I almost picked this.
Myself. Look how nice this is. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons to love Bruce Timm work, right? And but this one, you love his figure, the figure work, of course, but the fact that this thing is in color, it's soft. Yeah. There's actually similar to the cape on the character in the last one. There's like no heavy defining lines. He's really letting the color and the shape define everything for him, and I just love it. I love the blacks, with the blues. It's just so well done, and very, very jealous. You get this like a Steranko pistols, and I mean,
totally.
I mean, the more I kept looking at this piece, I'm like, damn,
it's really a Steranko-y pose too.
It is, yeah, very, very true. And then just putting a little cloud in the background, because you could have done without that. The character might have popped more, but it makes this piece so much more a finished.
Absolutely,
Tim, which you don't see that often, because he loves, and rightly so, just focusing on the figure work. We get something really special with this. This is, I mean, I wouldn't need another.
I think the smoke. Yeah, I think the smoke grounds it. Like I think that like makes it. To your point, it completes the image. It makes it something that it like wouldn't otherwise be.
Yeah, I'm very.
And I love G.I. Joe, so this hits close to home.
Yeah,
and you know what's cool too is like typically Baroness has black glasses, but there's so much black on here. The fact that he gave her the light glasses frames works like so perfectly.
Yeah. darn it. Quit talking. I'm liking this one more.
Sorry,
I might
I
be one of
really
those
love
guys
it
that
too.
I might have to, email Matthew Reed and be like, I'm a buyer one day.
If
I can't say that I've ever done that before, but
I do that more often than I would care to admit.
well, good for you. I mean, I should probably do it more often too. Bill loves torpedoes. Thank you, Marcus. Gosh. Anyway, there you go. There's our 10 picks, our 20 picks for the week. Do it, Bill. I will. You want me to do it right now in front of everybody? All right, here. All right, fine.
But you know what? Play it up. After featuring this artwork during the cap update, I realized how much I loved it.
I'm just talking. If you're ever interested in selling,
there you go.
Yeah, I'm your buyer.
You were too old for G.I. Joe, but you're never too old for Bruce Timm.
That's right. There you go. Look at that. You happy now,
Look at
Jason?
that. I gotta say, if Bill Cox emailed me and asked me about buying a piece, I'd be like, "Aw, I did good."
Yes, exactly. Oh man.
Does
Yep,
he
there
say
I
anything
go.
about? Does he say anything about provenance? Like, where did he get this? Where did it come from?
Let's see. This was an interesting purchase. I'm thinking I've had it a couple of years now. I've learned a lot about Bruce Timm's process and just how passionate his fans can be. Thanks to everyone here in CAF who are willing to share their knowledge. So I don't know. It sounds like he just feels lucky he picked it up, and yeah. Well, I don't know. Now he knows I'm interested, but I'm probably not the first one though to tell him that. It's too
Maybe
good.
not. Maybe not.
Yep.
I think I told this story, but I owned a Bruce Timm for like a day.
How do you do that?
So I bought it at Comic Art Live, and I actually bought it from Randy Martin.
Okay.
And it was what I always wanted to get from either, if I got to commission Bruce Timm or Adam Hughes, I told myself I'm going to get Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Because she's cool looking. She's always got a pistol, whatever. It fits my themes, So I bought that from Randy Martin. I got it for what I felt like was a good price. A guy started emailing me that day, the day that I bought it, like, hey, I hope it's okay. Randy told me that you bought this. I'd like to buy it from you. And I'm like, dude, I don't even have it. Like, so like he kept, like, as time went by, he kept upping his offer to eventually he quadrupled what I paid for it. And I was like, I just have to sell it. I have to sell it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was all legit, huh? Wow, that's incredible. I'd sell it too then.
Broke my heart.
I don't think I'll be offering this guy 4 times what he paid for it, but I'd like to own it.
You shouldn't. That guy shouldn't have either, and then I would have a Bruce Timm.
Right, exactly. Doggone it.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, we did it, man. In just a little over 2 hours. I knew this wouldn't be a long show.
Good times.
But, yeah, good times. Is the dog still at your feet?
No, he's sleeping now.
Oh.
His tongue's hanging out. He knows I'm here though, and he can hear me talk, so that's good enough.
All right, man. Well, as always, I appreciate you doing this, Chris. We'll be back at it again next week. Hopefully, we know that NSN is going to post something that one of us is going to pick, so we'll have that.
All right.
Yeah. But thanks as always, and we'll be talking after the show, I think, a little bit maybe. But all right. See you. All right, everybody. You know the deal. We are done, and we got what do we got? We have one day off, and then we'll be back at it on Saturday. Matt DiTullio, 2:00. So I hope everybody has some opportunity this weekend, especially on Saturday, to tune in for that sale. It's going to be a good time as always. Matt and I always have fun hanging out, chatting, talking about the art, and showing it off as well. Anthony's Anthony would be ready to hop in and take over for me right now, and no, that's not going to happen. I turn into a pumpkin. at 11 o'clock when I'm doing sales shows. But anyways, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me. We'll see you again on Saturday. Enjoy your Friday, and again, we'll see ya. Good night.